Mercedes Moné has said something very interesting about WWE's strategy against AEW. In today's video, I'm going to be listing off the must-hearing comments that Mercedes Moné made about the two promotions and what WWE is doing, because I don't think people realize this is the mentality. This is the right mindset, because we know that anytime that we talk about WWE and we talk about AEW, you also have to throw in a third category, because there are WWE fans who only care about WWE. They don't like AEW. They don't want to hear about AEW, and vice versa with AEW fans. And then you have pro wrestling fans who just want to see the promotions thrive. They want to see the business thrive, and they just want to see really good storytelling and pro wrestling matches. Mercedes Moné has found herself in the middle of this, because as we have all seen, the quote unquote war between WWE and AEW, it just continues to intensify. And sure, Tony Khan has thrown some shots at Nick Khan and Triple H and WWE brass in the past, but now WWE is really turning up the heat. Now, we've seen in years past that WWE would hold an NXT show on the same day of AEW, or holding a main roster PLE before an AEW pay-per-view event, as a way, I guess, to um, try to hurt AEW's business. And Mercedes Moné, she knows how to get fans talking. Well, what better way to talk about herself to promote AEW than to talk about the counter programming between WWE and AEW? And that's exactly what she did. She did so in an interview with Scott Fishman of TV Insider. And she was asked about WWE counter programming AEW and WWE intensifying this new strategy, which I will never understand. So, WWE and AEW, they're going to be going head to head on September 20th. So, you're going to have AEW All Out in Toronto and WWE WrestlePalooza in Indianapolis. Okay. So, for example, Forbidden Door aired in the afternoon on August 24th, and they had Heat Wave that night. WWE did. We had in July All Out air, and actually had to move from prime time to being in the afternoon to avoid Saturday night's main event. WWE reportedly wanted to hold John Cena's retirement match on the same night as the December 27th World's End pay-per-view event. They opted to move that earlier because of NBC. This is what she had to say about the counter programming. I don't watch them. I don't care about them. I'm 8 belts Monet. I'm a champion of so many different companies. So the more the merrier. If they want to put on wrestling shows while we have wrestling shows, I'm always going to be better off. I'm always better. That's why I call myself the CEO. They can keep on doing whatever they want to do, but AEW is taking over. If you want to watch the best good wrestling, watch AEW. When asked whether or not she thinks competition is heating up between WWE and AEW, she said, no, it's not. Okay. All right. So a lot to break down here. In regards to her first line, I don't watch them. I don't care about them. I'm a champion of so many different promotions. That is the right mentality. You can pay, and let me break this down here. Just because you don't watch their product that is going head to head with yours doesn't mean you're not paying attention. I think in business, you should always pay attention to your competitors. You should see what they're doing. You should try to break down what they're doing right, what they're doing wrong to further your own business. If you're not doing the latter, then you are wasting your time. And that's an issue. But AEW, yeah, pay attention to WWE, see what they're doing. All right, well, that's not working. Or, ooh, there's a gap here. Because that was the whole purpose behind AEW's popularity when they first launched. WWE was giving out a bad product, a product in which WWE fans were tired of. And so here comes this new promotion, and they are a complete 180 from what WWE was offering them. And fans go, oh, well, I'm going to go check out their product. Oh, I like their product. I'm going to watch their product. I'm going to support their product. I'm going to buy tickets to their show. I'm going to pay, pay-per-view prices. I'm going to watch their TV show. And they exploded. And once Triple H took over main roster creative in 2022, things took off, right? Or in 2023, excuse me. So that's what happened. And that's what makes sense. And so when you come to it, AEW fans, they got tired of the AEW product, or they just felt like WWE had a better product. And so they went back to WWE, and WWE took off and AEW cooled down. It's just a fact. So you can not care what WWE is doing, but you can watch them from afar. Just kind of keep tabs on. So I think that is 100%. In regards to whether she thinks competition was heating up, saying no, it's not. I don't know how to feel about that question. Is there a competition between WWE and AEW? Yes, but I don't think it's in the way that you think it is. When AEW first launched, they had Dynamite on TNT on Wednesday nights. NXT was a WWE Network product. It was a 1-hour show. And the moment the AEW was about to launch, they go to the USA Network and go, look, we want to put this show, we're shopping it around, USA Network's interested. They go, look, we want you to air our show on your network. I'm sure USA Network, they pay them a little bit of money. I don't remember the exact figures if that ever even came out. Regardless, they paid WWE a little bit of money, but it wasn't anything significant, in my opinion. Hey, let's expand the show 2 hours and let's go directly head to head with AEW. That was the only time that they actually competed on a program to program basis for a long period of time. And AEW, to their credit, they beat WWE, but they beat WWE's developmental system. So I don't know how much context you really want to add to that any further, because it's like, okay, you beat WWE, but it was their developmental product. I understand that NXT was hot for a while, but NXT has never drawn major interest, okay? When it comes to search traffic and Google traffic, NXT has never done numbers at all. At all. TNA does better numbers than NXT. So, I'm not buying that, right? In regards to the competition that has been overall, in terms of the competition that has been between WWE and AEW, the competition that I think fans don't realize that is competition that they should put a focus on is the actual competition between Tony Khan and Triple H over talent. That's the competition. That's what is really going on. That's the war. It's simply war over talent. Because if you are WWE for years and years and years, while yes, you had other smaller promotions out there, you were the biggest name in town. And more importantly, you were the biggest money giver in town. You wanted to make big money in this business outside of just hustling your butt off and working indies and promotions and selling merch, etc. Not everyone wants to be Matt Cardona, right? But it was WWE who paid the big bucks. And so you always wanted to go to WWE because that was where you were going to make the most money possible. And if you're going to throw yourself at plywood, you might as well do it for some money, right? Not everyone is a moron who will do it and staple, staple things to their foreheads for $20. Okay. Just saying. So WWE was the only game in town, right? And so AEW comes along, and all of a sudden there becomes a bidding war for talent because WWE talent's like, hey, wait a minute, AEW is offering me same amount of money or at least decent money, and it's a new opportunity, and there's a lot more creative freedom, and they're a hotter product. Yeah, I'm gonna go to AEW. Well, now we've started to see, okay, it really comes down to both promotions are offering a ton of money. Money has never been an issue for AEW, seemingly will never be an issue for AEW. If I'm AEW talent, it doesn't come down to money. WWE's schedule, in my opinion, and something in which fans don't really give enough credit for, WWE's schedule has been greatly reduced, I think in large part because of AEW. People want to say, oh, well, it's because they were money losers, right? TKO doesn't want to lose money. I'm sure that was some of it, but I also think it helps in negotiations of like, look, if you're a talent, here's our money, there's their money. There's not much of a difference. Schedule, now that's not an issue, right? You don't have to work 200 days a year. Our schedule's pretty reasonable. Go with the bigger brand. Go with the more established brand. Go with, you know, us. And then AEW's countersuit to that is like, well, wait a minute. Come down to creative, right? Where do you think you're to be more creatively fulfilled? And that's their thing. So I think the competition is there. I think the competition's always been there, but I just don't think it's been in the same way. Like AEW has never truly competed with WWE in terms of main roster. Because if WWE's main roster show goes up against AEW is going to get slaughtered. It's just a fact. AEW has a great in-ring product. They've never been mainstream. Just hasn't. WWE is. So I think you add context to this. There is a competition. It's just not in the way that people want to make it seemed out to be.